Hey, what's going on? So I just wanted to pop on here with another authentic, unscripted thought. That's what PodBites are all about, unscripted thoughts. I wanted to come and, you know, discuss or just kind of bring up something I'm seeing a lot in our community. And to be very honest with you, we have a problem. We have a problem with this thing. I've noticed. This is not a recent noticing of this thing, but it's becoming more prominent to me at this stage of my life. Just how many of us, people who grew up in the diaspora or who have spent a significant amount of time here, the number of people who have been disempowered when it comes to their name, um, their traditional name, their birth name, whatever type of name you have, whether it's a day name or a birth order name or a birth place name. There's so many beautiful names across the continent, and naming culture is amazing. That's going to have to be a longer conversation for sure. But I've been recently just reminiscing on some encounters I've had with people who either feel like they can't fully own their name because they feel like it's too complicated to pronounce. They want to shorten it for other people, or people who feel like they can't even themselves fully embrace the pronunciation or the meaning of their name. And I was just thinking about how disempowering that is. That your name is something that holds great power, great value, great worth. And there are so many people in the diaspora who feel like they can't really engage with their name. They don't want to use their name. And they're made to feel, sometimes by the structures and systems we live within, they're made to feel like their name is ugly or their name is too complex. I remember I was speaking to a young girl not too long ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, Nigerian girl, and she had a very beautiful Yoruba name. Obviously, I'm not going to say her name. And she was introducing herself to a group of people, and she said, "Hi, my name is," said the full pronunciation of her name, and then said, "But you can call me this because it's easier." And I said to her, I was like, "Please don't feel like you have to do that. Like, do not make. I don't want people to feel as if they have to shy away from embracing their name or embracing the pronunciation of their name because it's complicated for people or because they haven't heard people say it in the context that we live in, especially if you live around people who don't look like you. It can be really hard, and I really appreciate that. But I think it's sad and it's worrying how a lot of us are becoming more and more disempowered in that way, and it's a problem I see because unfortunately we run the risk of, in the next generation, having a generation of people who um, are even more disempowered than we are currently. So whatever are we to do about this problem when we have people who they feel like they can't fully pronounce their name correctly, people who feel like they don't want to use their name? um, that has a huge knock-on effect to our identity, right? That has a huge knock-on effect to our view of self, because if we don't want to say our own names, what does that have to say about how we view our identity? Now, this conversation is nuanced, and I'm not trying to say that if you don't use your, traditional name, your birth name or whatever, I'm not saying that if you don't use that, then there's something wrong with you or you should feel ashamed about that. Not at all. All I am saying is, what do we do about the many people who are feeling disempowered? What do we do about the people who feel like they can't completely own that thing? And feel like maybe I don't like my name, or I don't understand my name. I don't know what it means. I don't know where it comes from. Um, this is a longer conversation and maybe one that can be expanded in a full length episode, but it's something that I've noticed, and I'm wondering what are we going to do about it. And I personally think, you know, in the totality of our vision as the Diaspora Project is trying to reconnect with our identity. And I think your name is one of the huge parts of your identity, right? If I could encourage the listeners and even encourage myself, something that I love to do is ask the people around you, ask your parents, ask your aunties, your uncles, what does this name mean? How do I pronounce this name? Where does it come from? Was I named after anyone? Was I named after a place? Was I named after something? What is the meaning behind my name? I think it's important that we begin as a people to take back that feeling that actually I can own my name, like this is mine, and I don't have to censor it. I don't have to shorten it. I don't have to remix it for other people's comfort. I can take a hold of it and I can hold that with confidence and pride. I think that's really important. It's not as simple as a 5-minute PodBite, but it's something that I've been thinking about. So it's something I've been ruminating on. So if I could encourage you to do anything this week or this month, I would encourage you to open that conversation with your parents if they're still living or you still have a relationship with them or they're still around. Ask that question. What is my name? What does my name mean? Where does my name come from? How do I pronounce my name? It's difficult sometimes because your name can be in a different language that you may or may not speak. And so getting the phonetics correct of that name can be a challenge as well. And it can be a source of real shame and real insecurity for people who feel like they can't access that or they can't pronounce their name because they don't speak that language. But I think that's a place that we should all strive to start. In this journey of uncovering our identity, I think we need to start at that most central part of us. What is my name? Let me own my name. I don't want to remix my name. I don't want to make people feel like my name is any less than the names that I hear commonly wherever I live. So that's my thought. How are we going to deal with this? How are we going to reintroduce the feeling of confidence? How are we going to empower our people to take hold of their names and say, actually, this is mine and I own this? That's my challenge. That's my thought. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day otherwise. And I hope you stick around for the next PodBite. Peace. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Diaspora Project podcast. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and you'll stick around for the next one. If you'd like to keep up to date with what we're doing, you can find us on our website, www.thediasporaproject.co.uk, or you can find us on our social media pages. On Instagram, we are at thediaspora.project. TikTok, we are at the Diaspora Project. And on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, we are the Diaspora Project. Thank you again, and we will see you next time.